Hey there, my name is Lilith and I'm the creator behind fashion art label Zigenthaler, based in Australia. Today I'm going to be talking you through a tutorial on how to paint flames on a hem of jeans. Today I would consider a beginner tutorial. I'm going to be going through how to create the shape of these flames. It's very much a staple, I think, in the introduction to painting on clothes or painting on jeans. Today basically this tutorial is going to be broken down into two parts. I'm first going to show you how the flames are constructed in regards to the different lines and the flow of the design, and I'll be showing you that in 4 different exercises, line exercises, and then I'm actually going to be showing you how I created the flames on the jeans and different colors you can use or different styles and designs that you can experiment with. As you can see, I did do these on a hem of jeans. This was just what I did today, but you can also do these flames on anything that you'd like to personalize your clothing, whether that's around the hem of a skirt, it could be on the back pocket of some jeans, even the hem of a sleeve if you'd like. Basically, once you've mastered this skill, you can paint flames on anything, which is pretty cool, I reckon. So for this tutorial today, what you'll be needing is you'll be needing a paper and pencil. You're going to need these to help with the little line exercises that I'm going to be talking you through. You will also need some paintbrushes. I decided to have a couple on hand. I'm going to have a thin paintbrush to paint the outside of the flames and more thick paintbrushes when it comes to colouring in the design. You'll also want some fabric paint. Cetacolor Opaque is the fabric paint that I prefer to use. I've been using it for 3 years now and it seems to be a very good quality paint when it comes to painting on clothing. If you're going to be copying the colour design that I do today, you will be needing 3 colours. That's the vermilion red, orange and a warm yellow. And the next thing you'll be needing is whatever fabric or project you'll be painting the flames on. Today I will be painting the flames on the hems of some old jeans that I found in my wardrobe that I'd really like to personalize. Okay, into the tutorial. So I could actually just give you a template of these flames and you can copy these exact flames on anything you own, but I decided to create a more interesting tutorial where I actually show you how to construct these flames and you can actually sort of personalize them more or put your own style. You can develop it a little bit more and make it your own instead of just copying a template that I give you. When it comes to painting these flames, the main sort of shape that the design is built off of is a wave. This is the shape and the basis of the design. When it comes to painting flames, flow and direction of the line is very important. We're going to be doing a couple of exercises on paper just to make sure that we can actually connect waves together and create a flow. So the first exercise is pretty straightforward. All you're going to be doing is doing a continuous flow of waves up the paper. Okay, so next line exercise that you'll want to do is we're going to be doing a wave, but in between each of the waves we're actually just going to be doing a curve or a bump. This is sort of like when you're going to the beach and you've got waves that are breaking and waves that are just little bumps that you can sort of float through. So we're just going to be penciling in that type of line. So the third line we're going to be practicing is it's going to be like our normal wave line that we did for our first, except we're going to elongate the tail of the wave and curve it a little bit before bringing it back in again. This is a little bit more of a stylized flame. I tend to use this type of movement more in the flames I construct, and you'll see when we go into the different styles you can create using these lines. But I thought it would be a really good exercise to do. And then for the fourth line, what you'd want to do is we're going to be using all 3 styles of lines except in variations. So as you can see, I started off with a normal wave and then I went through with the elongated tail wave, I did the small bump wave and then I went back to a normal wave. Quite easy, but make sure you also do it on the other side, as you will need to actually know the movement to do it in the opposite direction. Drawing the fire is based on that fourth exercise we did, because when you do create fire, you want to create as many variations as you want using these lines and creating flame-like shapes. So now we're basically going to be putting all of these together and creating our own flame shapes, going up and creating as many permutations of each of these wave variations. It can be a little bit hard getting used to, as I said, the flow and the direction and making sure everything is consistent when you do create these flames. So it may take a bit of practice, but once you actually have it down pat, you can replicate this design on anything you own. Once you have sort of practiced the art of creating these flames that are sort of consistent in their shape but vary using the different lines and waves, you can actually start to challenge yourself in regards to not only doing them on a flat surface but also creating flames over surfaces that may be uneven or varied. Just as an example, I did do a heart here just to show that you can actually do flames on any sort of uneven line to create a shape. Once you're creating flames, the hemlines that you do them on or the baseline that you do them on may not necessarily be even. It may be on a shape. You may want to do a word with flames coming up off. It's just really good practice to be able to still create the consistency of the flame shape in regards to sticking to a baseline that isn't straight. You also may want to practice with different styles. Once you actually get this shape down pat, you can actually create more flamboyant styles. That's whether you want to create smaller tails and bigger curves within the fire to create more of a, almost say like a motorcycle tire guard style fire, or you can create a thicker body of fire with smaller swirly waves or shorter swirly waves for a more grungy sort of like that thrasher hoodie aesthetic. The main purpose of this whole first part of this video is to basically give you the tools to be able to create flames and then being able to experiment and construct your own style. It's just something that's really good to know. So I've got the hem of these pair of jeans. If this is your first project painting flames on clothing, you may want to actually sketch up exactly the type of shape that you're going to paint on your hem, just to narrow down the possibility of you stuffing up, because fabric paint is very hard to get out once you make a mistake. Because I've done a lot of flames in the last couple of years, I'm just going to free paint it. So I'm going to start off with my vermilion red. And with my small paintbrush, I'm just going to first paint in the shape of my flame. I tend to lean more toward elongated tails with my flames. I really like the really big curves that you can create, but you can do, as I said, you can do whatever style. This is just the style I'm doing. So once you've done the red, we're going to go in with a thicker brush, and then we're going to get the orange paint, and we're going to, basically we're just going to be painting a line following the red line of our flame, but gradually painting it in with a thicker brush. Unfortunately, the orange paint in the Cetacolor opaque range isn't actually opaque, and because we are painting on a dark surface, I will have to go over these lines again and do a second coating just to make sure that the color pops. So once the orange is done, then we're going to go in with the warm yellow and do exactly what we did with the orange. Go in with the same thick brush and just follow the orange line around now. Obviously there will be little pieces of the flame where it's going to be too narrow for the yellow to pop through, but we're going to just make sure that we do fill in the little spaces where it can be. So just like the orange, I did have to do a second coating of the yellow just to make sure that we have as much vibrancy as we can. And there you have the design. As well, you can also actually paint the rest of the flame down to the hem. You can also fill that up with yellow if you like, but I decided to leave the lines like that because I think it stands out as it is and it looks really cool already. So obviously what you need to do is need to make sure that this dries properly, and then you continue this particular design all around the hem of the jeans. If you want something that's a little bit more edgy, you can do pink flames, you could do green flames, you could do blue, you could even just do a gold or silver outline of a flame. I'm going to show you a different variation of flames, slightly more smaller and intricate this time. And I'm going to go in with a dark blue. And then I'm going to take a metallic paint, a silver metallic paint from the Cetacolor opaque shimmer range, and I'm going to outline these flames and give them their little pointy tails and just make the whole boundary of the design pop. So this is just an alternative design. If you don't have 3 colors on hand like red, orange and yellow, you can just use 2 colors, whether that's just an opaque color outlined by a shimmer color. You can do a blue and a silver, pink and a gold. I think that would look really cool. Anything that you feel. This the whole point of me showing you how to create flames is so that you can create your own and use whatever color palette you'd like. And then just like any other project, make sure that you fuse your paint to your fabric according to whatever your fabric paint instructs you to do. Cetacolor opaque, you just need to iron for 5 minutes. And then the design is usually wash-proof and washing machine proof. If you're using a different fabric paint, you just need to look at what the properties are, how to fuse it, and whether your garment is actually going to be washable. So yep, that's my flame tutorial that I did on my pair of jeans. They definitely spiced up these pair of jeans very well. They look a little bit more groovy than they did before. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope that the things that I taught you today will help you confidently create flames, and now you can just put them anywhere you'd like on anything. I did do flames on a couture dress once. That is a different technique of creating fire. It's a little bit more intermediate or advanced, but I just wanted to start with this tutorial for anyone that wants to get into painting on their own clothes with fabric paint. If you'd like to see more of what I do, please subscribe. I have a lot of videos on my own projects that I've created. Otherwise, I do so far have one tutorial that is painting mandalas on denim. Please make sure to check that out if you would be more interested in a design like that. Otherwise, please stay tuned for a couple more tutorials. That is all from me today. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next video.